it's amusing. Why is it that there appears to be lots of options, but really there's not? Go to Google News at any point, and you're going to see many different sources, but a couple things to keep in mind. It's a very small set of sources in relation to the amount of actual um, choices. Think about it, there's 7 billion people on the planet. And well, let's just go through a few of these. And this is something that a person should do from time to time, just so he can get a feel for the limited scope of the narrative. So just scrolling down here, we see CBS News, CNN, Forbes. Forbes is a major um, cog in the um, elite narrative. Okay, we have Forbes, CNN again, CNBC, BBC. Got one here called France 24. I haven't seen that one very often. The Washington Post, a few locals, The Guardian, Fox News, Politico, the New York Times, New York Post, Daily Mail. All of these are controlled outlets. Fox News, CBS, NBC News. Let's see if we see the Huffington Post in here. The Huff Post usually has their stuff in here. AOL, Washington Examiner, Chicago Tribune. Now, this seems like there's a plethora of choices. NPR, The Independent, but really, this is just to give the illusion that a man has various options to turn to. In other words, if I disagree with what one news outlet is telling me, I can look to another, but there's not various choices. It's all one choice. Even alternative news media is mainstream. It's just controlled opposition. It's to give us the appearance that there's an alternative choice. It's like if you went to a restaurant and you were told that the only things on the menu were cheeseburgers and Pepsi, and you decided, well, I don't want to eat just cheeseburger and Pepsi. So you go to another restaurant and they have the same option, cheeseburger and Pepsi. And then imagine you went to, um, imagine you lived in an urban area and there's dozens of restaurants, but each one of those restaurants served only cheeseburger and only Pepsi. It may look, in the yellow pages or on Yelp, it may look like there's 65 different restaurants in the city, but really there's only one. They just have different branches. And that's the same way to look at the news. It's become even more consolidated over the last 18 years. And the main goal, well, one of the goals is to convince the reader that he has lots of options, lots of choices. But it's all controlled by just a handful of families that run the planet. And this has been happening uh, for thousands of years. It's talked about in the book of Genesis. It's really what led to the great flood. It's just a handful of powerful bullies that just cause war all the time, death and disease. All right, that's my Thursday morning rant. Today is May the 7th. And all right, it's time for me to get some more coffee.